Welcome to TeaTalk Caregiver 101. My name is Shalette Thomas. This is my new channel. This channel believes a caregiver role is advocacy, skill building, and ensuring health and wellness of the individual or the loved one that they take care of. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in a field of taking care of others in the IDD field since 2012. I've held many positions far as working in a group home as staff at first. Then I went to group home management. I went to day program management. I also held the position CLS coordinator, and now I'm a support coordinator, which our primary role is to provide oversight of supports and services. One of the reasons why I felt like this channel was needed because we see a lot of things in the news about people with special needs, people with Alzheimer's, and things happening to them, or abuse in a nursing home by caregivers. So that's a lot of different things. We're going to talk about advocacy. We also going to talk about promoting rights and ensuring rights are protected. We're going to talk about stress management for the caregiver. We're going to talk about community integration, what businesses support people with diagnosis, also etiquette of being in a community. We also going to talk about feelings. We're going to talk about the caregiver feeling um, guilty from putting their loved one, family member, cousin, and niece in a group home, and how that affects them with working with providers. Also, we're going to talk about meal planning, how to prepare a light meal with your individual or just some or your family member. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about skill building. How do they get dressed and things like that, dressing. We're going to talk about different domains, far as the home domain, education domain, community domain, learning domain, and different things about skill building, how we can ensure their success by making sure that we implementing goals and skills daily to ensure their success in the community. That's some of the things that we will be talking about on this channel. Also, we have other members that's going to come and introduce themselves at a later date. I don't want to introduce them. I want them to come on with their favorite teas, and we just going to get to talking about these topics and how, you know, working in this field, working with people with diagnosis, some things that they've seen in the field, and also we could give tips and things to ensure a caregiver success in the field. Another thing we will be talking about is relationships, socialization. We're going to be talking about a lot of things on this channel that we're going to come together as a team. And this channel, we're going to seem, I would say, like a mentor, maybe. We're going to give suggestions or mostly mentoring, the way that you can hear our perspective. So as the caregiver, you won't feel that nobody knows how you feel or you all alone. And we're going to talk about resources in the community as well. And if you didn't know, we have support groups for caregivers out there in churches and agencies. And also is different type of services, waiver services, wraparound counseling services. We just gonna let you know what's out there as being a caregiving or for you taking care of your family member. And that I hear a lot in the field that families don't know what's out there, but providers of group homes do. That's one of the advantage that you see, people in the field shopping. You see them at games. You see them at a lot of resources because the providers done their research. They know what companies out there, they know what organizations out there, so they'll be able to get supports and services for the individuals that they take care of. And unfortunately, the families don't know a lot of services are out there, but they are. And I've been watching the news lately. Another thing we want to talk about is, special needs with people with special needs. We've seen them on the news getting beat up by an altercation with girls in the community, and they taped it. Um, a person with special needs getting ran over by a car. And we're just gonna talk. We gonna just talk about the level of supports and oversight. Also, talking about like how long are they allowed to be in the home by themselves. We're going to talk about how do you line, are they line assigned in the community? Can they go to the community by themselves? Can they stay home alone? And these are some things that we just want to make sure that we talk about, because these the very important things that families need to really think about. I like Johnny walks to the store by himself every day, but one day something happened. We don't think about the things that we do, or the boundaries that we create, or the level of supports that we provide with our loved one until something really happens. He goes to the store, he get hit by a car. I mean, things like that. Do they need supervision all day? You know, is Johnny able to stay in the house and maintain his health and safety alone? Do he need any help going to the restroom? Can he prepare his meal? Can he ambulate and walk around? Those is a lot of different things as caregivers, especially family members. But providers, they have to provide oversight for the state. So when they assess the individual through the nursing assessment, it was states, his supervision, can he be home alone, can he ambulate? So it's going to be guidelines that they're going to have to follow, that's mandated by the state. But being a caregiver, taking care of my brother, that's a little differences. Also talk about like medical and doctor visits and things like that. Are you keeping up with his annual appointments, dentist appointments? Are you keeping up with appointments? Are you taking them? Are you ensuring that his follow-ups are being kept up? And that's another thing. If you taking care of your brother and you work, what supports do you have established to ensure that he's able to go to his appointments on time without any problems? How good is your family supports? Do you have a circle of friends that help with services, or family members? And your care is only good as your support, because it's really hard for somebody to take care of someone 24/7 and not have a break and not have no sign of release. There's different programs out there like respite, where the person that can take care of your loved one get paid for it. They go through background checks and things like that to make sure that your loved one is safe, but it gives you that time to release. It gives you time, that quiet time. Because I look at it like this: if the caregiver is not healthy and not in a good place mentally, how good can they be providing service for a loved one or someone they serve at a provider? Which makes it hard. So that's some of the things that we talk about. Caregivers should make sure they're sleeping, make sure they eating a nutritious meal, make sure they get exercise, and that's some of the things that they could do while they're working, especially if they have a higher functioning person. They could go to community centers while they're working. They could go do Zumba, they could do exercise classes, or they could just walk in Stone Mountain. It's a lot of things that a caregiver can do while they're working with the individual, but they just got to make sure they know the resources in their area. And if they don't, if they work for a provider or for a family, they can ask the family what resources are in the neighborhood, or call and ask the provider, do they know any resources in the neighborhood? Because this is very important to ensure health and wellness, not for just the individual, but for the caregiver as well. And that's another thing we're going to talk about. Let's talk more about advocacy. What advocacy look like? Advocacy is just one of them things, and it can be challenging in the field, because when you out your voice for your person you taking care of, or your individual, they don't know. When you take them to doctor's appointments, or when you take them to restaurants, when you take them to sports games and things like that, they don't know. But that's where skill building come in. When you teach them, etiquette. When you teach them how to go to the library, how to check out books, how to sit at a table and talk in your inside voice and things like that. Going to restaurants, paying for your food, going into the grocery store, select their items, making a grocery list where a person makes their grocery list, can get a grocery cart, select the items, put them in the cart, and then go to a register and pay for their items. So it's a lot of things that advocacy play in. Also, when you take them to appointments, whether it's, eye appointment, vision appointment, psych appointment, that you're going in the rooms with them and you talking to the doctors. And this is important because the doctors is going to ask many questions. They're going to need to run tests, and they might need assistance from a family member or staff member to help with diagnosing them, prescribing medication to them, to avoid them being over medicated or under medicated. So it's a lot of things with advocacy, and we're going to talk more about advocacy online with one of the members of the TeaTalk Caregiver 101 that you'll be meeting shortly, and they will be introducing themselves, and then we're going to learn who they are, what their passions are, and we're going to get these conversations going. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, and I will encourage you as you to please, watch the videos of this channel and give suggestions, some topics that you think I missed. Or if you're just a caregiver and some things you notice, some things that you could shed light on, because this is a community. We can all help each other, on this channel with suggestions. Or you could talk about your challenges. I'm a caregiver. I'm out in the community. I'm dealing with this person with behaviors, and this person displayed this behavior, and you could just, or we could just be an outlet, and then we can listen to you. So I mean, this channel, we're gonna provide mentorship. We can't tell you what to do because we're not professionals in that domain, and we don't want to make sure that we give out the wrong information to you, but we could just shed light on topics, and we could talk about our experience and how we dealt with certain situations in the field. So I just want to thank you for watching this introduction video. We will have more things to come. more topics to come. And we're just going to talk about everything. All our conversations will come from a caregiver perspective. And that's one of the things. And we understand caregiver is broad, but we just want to make sure that we don't miss any diagnosis. It could be any diagnosis: mental, physical, emotional, behavior diagnosis. And we're just going to provide support for the community with this. I thank you for joining in, and also remember, this channel believes a caregiver role is advocacy, skill building, and ensuring health and wellness. Peace.